The Vanishing at Whispering Pines. The small town of Whispering Pines had always been known for its tranquility and picturesque landscapes. Tucked away in a remote corner of the country, it seemed like the perfect place to escape the chaos of the outside world. But on one fateful summer evening, that tranquility was shattered, and a mystery was born that would baffle investigators for years to come. It all began with the disappearance of Emily Morrison, a young woman of 25 who had lived in Whispering Pines all her life. Emily was known for her beauty, her vibrant smile, and her unwavering kindness. She was the kind of person who would go out of her way to help a neighbor in need, and everyone in the town adored her. On the evening of June 17th, Emily was supposed to attend the annual Whispering Pines Festival. It was an event she had never missed, a time when the entire town gathered to celebrate with music, food, and games. But Emily never showed up. Her absence raised alarm bells among her friends and family, and a search was launched that very night. The search for Emily extended into the early hours of the morning, with townspeople combing the woods, checking nearby cabins, and scanning the edges of the tranquil Whispering Pines lake. But there was no sign of her. As dawn broke, it became clear that Emily Morrison had vanished without a trace. The town was in shock. Whispering Pines had never seen a crime like this, let alone a disappearance of one of its own. The local sheriff, Sheriff Billings, called in the state police to assist in the investigation. Over the weeks that followed, the town's normally quiet streets buzzed with law enforcement activity. As investigators delved deeper into Emily's life, they discovered nothing that suggested she had any reason to disappear voluntarily. Tips poured in from all over the country, but none led to any significant breakthroughs. Emily's family held candlelight vigils, and her friends organized searches on their own, determined to find any trace of their beloved friend. Months turned into years, and still, Emily Morrison remained missing. The case became one of those enduring mysteries that seemed impossible to crack. Speculations and theories swirled throughout the town. Some believed that she had been abducted, while others thought she might have wandered into the woods and gotten lost. But none of these theories could be substantiated with concrete evidence. As time passed, the once united community of Whispering Pines began to fracture. Suspicion and fear settled in. Neighbors who had known each other for years began to question each other's motives. Friends turned into foes as rumors and accusations flew. The town's innocence had been forever tarnished by Emily's disappearance. One chilly autumn evening, 3 years after Emily had vanished, a group of local teenagers decided to explore the old abandoned mansion on the outskirts of town. It was a place whispered about in hushed tones, said to be haunted by the ghosts of those who had lived there long ago. The teenagers had heard stories of strange occurrences and eerie apparitions. They ventured into the decaying mansion with flashlights in hand, their heartbeats quickening with every creaking floorboard and rustling curtain. As they explored the dimly lit rooms, they stumbled upon a hidden compartment in the floor of what appeared to be a study. Inside, they found a stack of old journals and letters, covered in dust and cobwebs. Curiosity got the better of them, and they began to read. What they discovered was a series of letters written by a man named Nathaniel Hartley, who had lived in the mansion over a century ago. The letters detailed his obsession with a local woman, a woman he believed was his true love. As they read on, they came across an entry dated June 17, 1898, which described a plan to make her his forever. The teenagers were stunned. The date coincided with the day Emily Morrison had disappeared. Could there be a connection between the old letters and Emily's vanishing? They immediately handed the letters over to the authorities. As the investigators pored over the newly discovered evidence, they uncovered a disturbing truth. Nathaniel Hartley had indeed abducted a woman named Isabella Collins, who he believed to be his one true love, on that fateful day in 1898. Isabella had been found, but Nathaniel had disappeared without a trace, leaving behind only the letters that had now resurfaced. Could there be a link between Nathaniel's obsession with Isabella and Emily's disappearance? Could there be some dark connection between the events of 1898 and the events of the present day? It was a tantalizing lead, but one that raised more questions than answers. Years turned into decades, and the mystery of Emily Morrison's disappearance remained unsolved. The discovery of Nathaniel Hartley's letters had only deepened the enigma, leaving the town of Whispering Pines haunted by its own past. To this day, the memory of Emily Morrison lingers in the hearts of those who knew her, and the town's once tranquil streets are haunted by the echoes of an unsolved mystery that may never be unraveled, a mystery that forever changed the lives of the people of Whispering Pines.